And welcome back to the Hot Lap, and it is official. Qualifying is over. Verstappen did an absolutely fantastic lap to get that pole position until he didn't. Yes, he ended up getting a penalty, and what was quite the impressive lap of the year. But did that penalty that he got, was it deserved? So Verstappen, it says he faces a one-place grid penalty. He got a one-place grid penalty, didn't he? So this was the provisional grid, which we'll quickly go through. Verstappen and then Russell, Norris, Piastri, Leclerc, Hamilton, Sainz, Alonso, Perez in 9th, Magnussen in 10th, Gasly in 11th, Zhao. I tell you what. I mean, Zhao did absolutely fantastic to get 12th. 13th, Bottas. The sound was actually looking like they could give it a bit of luck. Maybe, just maybe get a point. We'll see. Tsunoda in 14th, Stroll in 15th. Tsunoda did an awesome lap to just about make it in, to Q2 in the end. 16th, Albon, 17th, Lawson, 18th, Hulkenberg. Big disappointment there. 19th, Colapinto, and 20th, Ocon. So to be fair, at least Perez got out of Q1. He got into Q3, albeit 9th. Yeah, not particularly great, really, is it? Hamilton, again, he came out and said he's just not fast enough anymore. As we know he gets really, really down. I think he can't wait. I think he's counting down the laps at this point until his Mercedes career is essentially over, which I guess it's kind of sad in a way, but I kind of get it. He's really, really frustrated. Something is not working. Or indeed, as some people have suggested, he's getting slow. I don't think he is. Verstappen, I mean, where did that come from? Yeah, Max Verstappen, pretty much. His car and team came from nowhere. They have changed the setup of their car. Between obviously the sprint race and the race, and made it quite amazing. Now, is it going to be amazing in the race? Only time will tell. He wasn't that impressive in Las Vegas, although he did have a title to win. Now it's going to be no holds barred, but with the swap between him and Russell, it very much is going to be no holds barred between the two of them. He's going to be quite angry. I mean, in a weird way, it was George Russell that cost him pole in the end, but because of maybe politics off the track but let's see what happened on the track, shall we? So, super dangerous from Verstappen. That's what George Russell says. Let's have a look, shall we? So it doesn't. Is it working at all? Yeah, we go.
The bonus for McLaren is that Norris.
Here is George Russell. And George Russell is going really, really fast, and he essentially gets blocked by Max Verstappen. Albeit George Russell is not on a hot lap, and neither is Max. Here we go. He is going really fast, and then he almost has to slam on the brakes because of how slow.
George Russell
super dangerous by Verstappen.
It was super dangerous, but how slow Verstappen was doing. So let's turn the volume down, rewind it back a bit, shall we? Now, George Russell is going very fast. That's a fact. Okay. Now you see how quickly he comes up on Verstappen. It is dangerous, I guess. Verstappen is going that slower. George Russell can see him. But to be fair to George Russell, I don't even think he can expect that Verstappen is going that slow. Right on the racing line as well. Verstappen could argue, where was I going to go? And I think therein lies the issue. That's, yes, the one-place grid penalty, simply because George Russell was not on was not on a fast lap. And here it is. Let's have a quick look at this, and shall we? So car driver number 1, Verstappen, time 21:58, 2 minutes to 10. In qualifying, car 1 drove unnecessarily slowly on a cool-down lap. That's a breach of 33.4 of the F1 sporting regulations. Drop of 1 grid position and a penalty point as well. So the stewards heard from the car driver of number 1, Max, and the car driver number 63, George Russell. The team representative reviewed positioning, marshalling system data, video timing, telemetry, team radio, and in-car evidence. Car 1 was in a different preparation strategy to car 63. That was quite obvious, as we've seen. Car 1 was well outside the delta. of the Delta, and the driver of car 1 explained that he let car 4 and 14 pass. The driver of car 63 claimed that he had adhered to the Delta and did not expect car 1 to be on the racing line. Okay, fair enough. He stated that if a car was going in a high-speed corner, it should not be on the racing line. Yeah, get it. So the stewards regard this case as a complicated one, in that car 1 did not comply with, as we know, the race director's event notes. Now, when that does happen, though, to be fair, and they go too slow, that never is a penalty. It's more like a warning, so to speak. So it is a complicated one. Did not comply with the notes. In our determination, unnecessarily slowly considering the circumstances. And I think that's the key thing here. It was obvious that car number 1 was attempting to cool his tyres. Yes, he could also see car 63 approaching as he looked in his mirrors multiple times whilst on the small straights between 11 and 12. Okay, I did not know that, but that's new information there. Unusually, the incident occurred when neither car was on a push lap. Now, had it been on a push lap, yes, that would have been a standard penalty. Car 63 had been on a push lap. The penalty would have been most likely been the usual 3-grid position. However, in mitigation of a penalty, it was obvious that the driver of car 63, George Russell, had clear visibility of car 1. And this is what I don't get. It's the wording here that neither car was on a push lap. Yeah, okay. Competitors are reminded that they have the right to appeal. So the problem is I can understand the penalty until they get to the last point, which doesn't make any sense. It was obvious that car 63 George had clear visibility of car 1 and that neither was on a push lap. Yeah, okay, thanks for that bit of information, FIA. Is this inconsistent thing, Stuart? Until then, I can almost understand why Verstappen did get a penalty. If he was driving really slow on the racing line and a car essentially George Russell nearly hit him, one of the reasons was because he was driving unnecessarily slowly. Yes, you can drive slow, and he was below the Delta, below the time that he should be. So, okay, bang to rights in there. But then that last thing is just weird, and it does show completely inconsistent, again, from the stewards. At least this time, Johnny Herbert cannot be blamed, can he? So going into the sprint race, it's going to be, I think, really interesting. I think you've got to say Verstappen's up there now as one of the favourites, along with Russell and Norris. Maybe not Piastri. Depends if they change his setup. He really wasn't that fast in the sprint race compared to Lando Norris. Lando Norris really had to slow down to help Piastri to keep him in that second place and eventually, obviously, give him that win. So it's going to be really interesting. Who have you got? Comment below. Let us know. Until then, well, think about subscribing. That would be great. We are now at just over 2,000 subscribers. It's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much if you're one of those people that have ever subscribed, liked or commented. We really appreciate it. I try to answer as many comments as I can. I am not worthy. Thank you very much. Stay safe and we'll speak to you soon.